everyone to start listening to this upcoming conversation. Very important.
That's because you're a good person, and I think that she started on the path to leave the marriage. Okay? It's ironic that we're talking about you and Nikki. I think that she was the one who started on that path first. What do you think about that?
I wouldn't have thought about that.
Okay. And the other thing I think is interesting is, even though she is that type of person that's controlling, doesn't listen, does what she wants, is walking away from her kids, here you are defending her. Because to your core, you want to take care of the people you love. Okay.
They're using reverse psychology.
That's the reason why we want to give you an opportunity today to just help us find them. Okay? Will you do that for us?
I'll do whatever I can to help to find where they're at.
All right, I want everyone to listen to the upcoming events. He's telling the truth.
Or are you going to tell the truth about where they are?
What he's about to say.
Okay.
Why?
Listen to the time, everything.
I'm a nervous person. Like every question I asked, every question, it felt like I couldn't say the right thing.
That's not how the polygraph works.
I don't know like what it reads like. I know she was saying about the autonomy of the process, but like I don't know where they're at.
Chris, right now your dad's outside. He flew across the country to help. Okay. You're lying to him. You're lied to everyone you talk to. And they all bought it. Will you please help us find your babies?
I want to find them. I've told you over and over, I want to find everyone.
Can we go back to that night?
Yeah.
You know that we have texts, and we know that there's an Alexa in your house, and you know that those are trained to record distress.
Okay.
You know that we know the content of Nikki's text messages and your text messages and Shanann's text messages. Okay?
I didn't know you knew where Nikki was until right now, so.
Okay. Tell us about that night again, and please tell the truth this time.
I told you the truth. I promise I've told you the truth. Like, I woke up at 4 o'clock. I woke up at 4 o'clock. Got dressed, got ready. 4:15, me and Shanann talk. About the house, about separation.
Did you guys talk about Nikki?
She accused me of like, all right, is there somebody else?
Sure.
I didn't say it.
You denied it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she brought up Mom, was there a $68 charge on dinner the other night?
Okay.
Was there 2 of you?
And that was with 2 of you, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
That's Nikki.
Okay. So it sounds like at that time you weren't quite ready to just say, Shanann, this is everything.
I couldn't say it.
Okay.
We were already trying hard enough. I couldn't say that.
Okay. What did you say?
I just told her this separation has to go. I want separation.
Okay. Was it her idea to sell the house or yours?
She initiated the realtor the week before in an email.
Why?
Because we were talking about the marital issues. She's like, well, you can't afford to live on her own. Well, she can't afford to live on her own, and I can't afford to live on my own. So she was like, we need to just contact Ann.
Okay.
See.
And who'd you contact?
Well, she contacted Ann, our realtor.
Ann?
Yeah.
Okay. Would Ann say the same thing, that your wife initiated the contact?
Yeah.
Okay.
She would. And then on Monday, I texted her to see what she could do.
Okay.
And that's in there too. You probably already knew that.
Tell me about the pregnancy. Was that your idea or hers?
She said she was about 80-20. Well, I only did the pros and cons of it. Like after she got pregnant, she told everybody that it was mainly my idea.
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted a boy.
Did you want to get pregnant? Okay.
And then after the fact, she said it was mainly me that wanted it, and she was about, she was 70-30 against it at that point. Like, she would tell her friends that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what, 70-30 against it? Like, why?
Okay.
He's lying. He was against it.
Can you understand that some of this just doesn't make sense to us?
That's why she didn't feel safe after what he said about the baby.
How is it possible that a woman and 2 kids are just completely gone off the face of the earth?
I promise you, I have nothing on my hands I did nothing to those kids or her to make them vanish.
So tell me what happened then. I believe you that you did nothing on your hands. What happened?
When I left, I mean, it's on video that I left and I was in my truck. I didn't load anything into my truck besides my tools, my container, my book bag, my water jug, my lunchbox.
Okay. But then what happened?
But his water jug was left on the counter.
Out of the driveway.
No,
And
before
his
you
book
drove out of
bag was in the house.
What happened with your wife and your kids?
I didn't do anything like that. They were still in the house.
Where are they? Where did they go?
I don't know, sir. I really don't know.
Your wife's not the type of person to vanish.
I know she's not.
She had 10 things on her schedule that meant she was going to be there the next day, that day, the day after that, with friends, with a doctor. Okay? She didn't leave because she wanted to.
Okay.
So what happened?
I didn't do anything to her or the kids.
Must have been an accident.
I didn't do anything.
Must have been an accident.
There was no accident. I don't know if there was an accident in the house. I wasn't there for it.
It's a big deal if it's an accident, because we can work with that, Chris.
No,
And I think that's maybe what happened.
I did not cause an accident. I didn't do anything to my wife and kids.
Okay, listen to what he's saying
Was it a
subconsciously.
misunderstanding?
There's no misunderstanding. Like, we had that talk.
He's on defensive.
There was a misunderstanding where I didn't tell her about the affair.
Okay.
I didn't. That was a misunderstanding.
Like, miscommunication,
Yeah,
misunderstanding.
yeah.
Good.
But I probably should have told her right then. Honestly. I mean, everything was out on the table anyways.
Right.
I should have told her right then. But I didn't, because I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Meaning
What
she
was your
knew he
plan?
was having
What were
an
you gonna do?
affair.
How was the separation going to work?
Like, once we got separated, I would get my own place, and then 50-50 split with the kids. That's what I was hoping.
That's what I was
What about
hoping.
Nikki?
Take it slow and just see if anything develops, like when I'm, at my own place.
Okay.
I just find it hard to hear you talk about just having this emotional, conversation with Shanann, and you're bawling and crying together, and you have not shed one tear in 2 days that you've been here. Not one. And help me understand that, because I don't get it. These are your baby girls, and you have not shed one tear over them not being around. Chris, I lose my 4-year-old in the store for 10 seconds, and I start to go panic. I have not seen any of that from you at all. Help me understand that.
I love those girls. I would never do anything just because I haven't shed a tear. Like, you
Yeah, no, that's weird. Is that weird?
Yes, he's weird.
Don't look into that like I don't love my
Well,
kids.
tell
I love
me,
my
explain
wife.
to me. You're crying with your wife that you're leaving her,
Yeah.
but you don't cry that your 2 little baby girls
I'm hoping they're still around somewhere. I'm hoping they're still somewhere.
Yeah, but you
alive.
don't have them right now. You're
I
not
know.
reading stories to them at night.
I know.
You're not giving them midnight snacks. You're not giving them their medicine. You're not waking up with them in the morning.
I know this.
So that should cause you pain.
It does cause me pain.
But I don't see that. I don't see that. I want to see the Chris that cares. I want to see the Chris that, feels bad about what he did and wants to, get this off his chest and be done with this. And let us find your little girls so that they're not out there in the middle of a field or whatever somewhere. Like, don't do that.
I love those girls to
Then
death.
show us that. Show us that. Show us this Chris, not this Chris.
I'm not showing you that. I'm showing you the Chris that cares about his girls and his wife. Just because I haven't shed a tear shouldn't make you feel like that the love isn't there for them.
It's weird. It doesn't make sense.
I understand that.
You have to.
I totally see where you're coming from. Trust me, like, there's nothing. Just because
Chris, people can be pushed to the point where they do something that they regret. It happens every single day.
I know.
But part of what makes you a man is the guy that goes, I really fucked up, but this is what I did, and I'm going to pay for what I did, and I'm going to tell you what I did, and I'm going to be honest about it.
Chris, we can keep talking to you once we find these girls, okay? And once we find these girls and your wife, right, no matter how we find them,
So they already know. They already know what's happened.
You can tell us.
They just need to find the girls. They need to find Shanann.
You can say, let me tell you what happened. I was never comfortable with you, Graham, or with you, Tam. No, I wasn't comfortable yet. But now that everything's known, now that these girls are found and Shanann's found, however they're found, it's okay. We can keep talking to you. Okay?
Chris, did Shanann do something to them?
No, I don't know.
I'm serious.
I have no clue.
No, you would have known, because they didn't leave the house. Did Shanann do something to them, and then did you feel like you had to do something to Shanann?
See, they're putting that in his head.
They were there.
They weren't there. They didn't leave. They vanished.
They were
The
there.
only way they could have left is in your truck.
There's no way, because, like, I didn't just throw them in my truck.
Just told on himself.
You know your truck has GPS,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because you told your boss, like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm
Because
on
he
this
did
operation,
just
I'm
throw
taking
them
it to a
in
friend's
the
house,
truck.
whatever. You know that thing pings every 10 seconds?
Yep.
So we will know
You can't turn
exactly
it off.
I know.
where you went.
And your company's giving that to us.
I know.
Okay. Are we not asking the right questions, Chris?
No, you're asking all the questions.
What are we not asking you right? What
They are
we doing wrong?
handling him perfectly. He's the type that would shut down to criticism.
If she did anything to these kids, we both love them with all our hearts. There's no way.
It could have been an accident. Something happened in the house that you know about. You failed the polygraph test, Chris. This is not about, did you leave and your wife vanished and you didn't know anything about it. That was not what you were asked, okay?
Okay.
We know that something happened to all three of them. But I want to know, did something happen to these baby girls first that you had to take into your own hands and deal with?
You had to clean it up for Shanann.
Chris, you got to tell us. There's something that happened to these baby girls. Look at them.
I know. Before you came in, I was watching videos.
But you didn't shed any tear when you were watching those videos.
We have no doubt you love these girls with all of your heart. I have no doubt.
No, love doesn't kill your children.
But we make mistakes.
That's okay.
It's what we do with those mistakes that make us who we are.
Chris, it seems like you're thinking about it right now. What are you thinking about?
She couldn't have.
I feel like you cleaned up for her. I feel like that's the type of guy that you are.
They're using reverse psychology, guys. Typical reverse psychology.
Which one of you has the breathing thing?
Well, they both have inhalers, but she has the EOE. Encephalitis esophagitis.
Did she have problems breathing?
And only, like, with her allergies and whatnot, like, if she had anything next. But she's home with the endoscopies and everything and the surgeries I told you about.
Alright, listen to what he
Do you
doesn't
think she
say.
had trouble breathing that night? And Shanann freaked out? and didn't want to live without her baby girl?
So,
Did you hear about the homicide that happened in Aurora, where the guy beat that family to death with a ball-peen hammer? The only person that survived was a 3-year-old sibling.
Alright, listen.
Grew up to be a total mess. No family, no mom and dad.
Listen to his reaction.
Just sort of by herself. She says, I wish I would have died with them. And there are times that people freak out. I've seen it. I mean, I've been in law enforcement for almost 20 years. I've seen it. Parents freak out and they're like, oh my God, like, I can't have my baby girls live without each other. They're best friends. They're like twins. They're, you know, they wake each other up in the morning.
She's trying empathy.
And I understand that. We had a mom in Castle Rock that suffocated both her baby girls.
Listen, guys.
She's like, my husband was going to take them. And she's like, I just couldn't handle. I thought I was doing right by them.
Listen.
I thought I was saving them pain. And I get it.
why? How's she saving the pain?
Because she didn't want them to have to live without their mom.
So
Chris,
subconsciously,
this is a weight that's going to be on you for the rest of your life.
he's
Until
trying to
we resolve
figure
it.
out how
Unless we can talk about this more tonight.
did it save them
It's gonna follow
pain
you forever.
to justify
I promise
his
you, When
actions.
you start talking to us, you will feel better. I know you already feel better about getting the Nikki off your chest.
Please don't, like, involve her in the news or anything like that. She can't do that.
You gotta help me.
I know.
Chris, we're giving you a lifeline right now. You need to take it. You need to reach out and take it.
Did they look like this tonight, the last night you were with them?
She had that dress on, like, on the 8th or 9th. It wasn't this, but she had that dress on. 'Cause I remember I had 2 buttons on the back. I take them off so I get her pajamas on that night.
Did you guys make sure they were warm when they left the house?
Make sure they were warm. They're always warm. They always have, when they're in their beds, they're always warm.
Were you guys taking care of them at the very end?
They're always taken care of. They never miss a meal.
Chris, you took them out of the house with their blankets and their animals. Like, that's because you cared.
No, he actually put them in a garbage bag and they
That's
were in
what
his
caring
truck.
dad does.
I mean, I'm always caring for these kids. There's nothing in this for my life.
I believe that. I believe that, and I believe someone made a mistake, whether it was you or Shanann. And you either cleaned up after Shanann or you made the mistake. And I mean, I want to believe that maybe Shanann did it and you felt compelled to fix this so Shanann didn't look bad. That's what I want to believe. But I don't know, you're not telling me that, so it makes me think the worst. Like, did you do that to all 3 of them? Like,
So they're just doing reverse psychology, trying to get
what did
answers.
Shanann do then? Tell us, Chris.
Sorry guys, I gotta adjust myself.
Chicks are crazy.
Can I talk to my dad or something?
Absolutely.
Come.
Do you want to bring him in here?
No, I just need to talk to my dad. Like, flew across the country.
Hey, Chris, how about this? If we brought your dad in here, would you please tell him what happened?
Can I just go talk to him? I've been in here for like 5 or 6 hours and I'm late.
Absolutely. Chris, look at me, man. It's not going to feel any better. He deserves an answer.
It's your best friend.
There's only one person you wanted here most, and it's your dad.
Yes.
What would you tell him?
I love him, and I just want him to be by my side.
Okay. He knows more than we do that you're a good man. And he knows as much as you want to protect your wife, Shanann. I think he would tell you to do the right thing. Before we get him.
Can I go out there and talk to him?
Well, I don't know that you want to do it out there because there's a lot of people going through the halls. Should we bring him in here?
I'll step out. Okay?
Can you 2 minutes with him? Okay. Can we just ask a couple more questions? It seems like you're about to get it off your chest. Is there any way that you can help us understand more about Shanann and why maybe something happened? So that we don't get a bad picture about her. What I mean is, what happened that night with her?
So I think after I talked to her,
With the girls?
it's like when we were having that conversation in bed there,
Mm-hmm.
like when I talked to her about the separation and the house, and she asked me about the affair, and
Okay.
that's how that conversation went.
Okay.
She was distraught. She had like mascara on her face, all that. And
See, she was
it
distraught.
was emotional.
Well, how about this? If we bring in your dad, will you promise me that you'll talk to him?
I'll talk to her.
Okay. Will you promise me that you'll tell him everything? Would it be easier if you told him and he told us?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know if that's going to be easy or not. I tend to think it's not. I think you're the type of guy that needs to take responsibility because you always have taken responsibility. You've always made the right choice. So, I guess I'm just worried that if we bring your dad in here, that could distract you. What do you think?
Distract me from like talking to you.
Yeah.
I decided to talk to him.
Okay. All right. I know you'll do the right thing. I do. I don't know how long it's going to take. I think that you need to think a little bit more about that. Okay?
And you need to realize that your dad is not going to stop loving you no matter what you tell him. You are his child, and he will not stop loving you.
Never.
Ever.
And this is not the last chapter in anyone's story. At all. Okay?
Except for his.
He's been here the whole time. You know, he didn't want to leave you. Have you ever seen, sometimes when an animal's owner dies, they stick around forever? I think that's your dad. Poor guy didn't want to leave today, okay? So, keep that in mind. He wants to hear it all. All right.
And I will bring you the second part. Because my battery is about to die.